Aloha, my kākou, welcome! Hi everyone, I'm Shay. It's so nice to meet you. And this is Bonk. Say hi, Bonk. Oh, he's shy today. Okay, what kind of person would I be if I made you sit through an intro of an intro video? So, first things first. Hi, I'm Shay. I'm 25 years old. I was born and raised on Maui, Hawaii, and I've been living here in Los Angeles for the past 7 years. I'm an actor and an artist, living with my actor and artist boyfriend, Jordan. I love all things books, movies, TV, fandom, and I'm sure you'll hear about that very soon. I spend most of my time doing self-tapes, reading, watching TV with my boyfriend, and going on silly adventures with my best friend, Jordan. My best friend's name and my boyfriend's name are both Jordan. I don't want to talk about it. I like my hobbies a lot. I mean a lot. And I just wanted a space where I could talk about them for hours on end without my boyfriend dumping me and my best friend blocking me. Just kidding, that's a joke. Guys, that's a joke. I just wanted a safe space where I could talk about the things I enjoy with other people who enjoy them and get a deeper dive into the stories that we love and why they make us feel the way they do. I found that the more I get in touch with that part of me, the happier I am. It really affects how I carry myself in my everyday life. It affects my art, it affects my relationships, all for the better, of course. So why not share all that love? Oh boy. All right, settle in. Growing up, I have always felt super different from my peers. I was really artsy in a small school where that really didn't matter at all. And then I moved to LA and I was constantly around artsy people, but I was in a completely different environment. If you've ever been to Hawaii, you'll know it is a totally different place. It feels like it's its own country. Huh. I wonder why. I had to adjust to a whole different type of lifestyle, especially in my vocabulary. I had to weed out a lot of Hawaiian and pidgin words that I was used to using in my everyday life. I wasn't like my peers. I didn't like going out. I hate clubs. It was really difficult to force myself to fit in. So in my darkest times, I really found myself re-indulging in all my hobbies, like hardcore. I found such a deeper relatability to the books and the movies and the TV shows that I loved when I was younger. And as I grew up, I found new things that helped me on my journey. And then one day, I finally stopped crucifying myself for being so different. And I finally exhaled and I looked around and I realized that I wasn't sitting on something embarrassing. I was sitting on a hidden power, and with great power comes great responsibility. I realized I was not alone in the slightest with how I was feeling. So if I had to boil all of my goals down to just one, it's to create a space where people don't feel alone. But more specifically, what can I bring to the table? Growing up so involved in media and art and now being an actor, it's truly just a study of humanity. I want to focus on content that expands the worlds of all of my favorite books. I want to understand why characters are wonderful or why they're not, or why their relationship works or why they don't. I feel on BookTube, we tend to really focus on the plots of books versus the actual story. Plot is just the series of events that unfolds within the chapters. While that is very important, I'd argue that story is even more important. Story is what's happening in between the pages, in between the lines. I mean, relationship is the most important thing in the world. It's how we survive as humans, which means it's gotta be the most important thing in a good story, right? I mean, how are these characters in relationship with each other, with themselves, with the world? And how do the things that happen within the book affect those relationships? That's the reason we love books and characters so much. I know in my own lifetime, I've spent 25 years feeling like the only world I truly knew and the only world I truly belonged in was my inner world. My own personal one, filled with all the things I liked and, a few people from the outside world. But I always found myself being so embarrassed of that, like I just could never know enough. Or I was sitting on a whole pile of shame that one day someone would see and it would just explode like a pregnant spider or something. Or I would just dig myself into a big shame hole because I truly felt that nobody had the same thoughts or feelings as me. It was so isolating. But the truth is, art reflects life and life reflects art. The whole point of these books and movies is to explore yourself within them and then go out into the real world and connect with people. So, here we are. Most importantly, I'm just here to have fun and talk some shit. every single person on the planet could read the exact same book and we'd all experience something completely different. We'd see different colors, different castles, clothes, homes. We'd hear different voices and connect to different characters. But at the end of the day, we all just read the exact same words. I mean, that's crazy. What a way to bring people together while still allowing them to have their own internal experience. Gosh, that is so crazy. And you know what? You just never know when you're gonna pick up the exact right book and you're gonna read the exact right words and your life is just changed forever. All of my most favorite moments in books and films is when you hear that piece of dialogue that hits you so deep in such a personal corner of your mind, that part of you that never in a million years you'd think anybody else could ever understand. Then a stranger that you've never met or will never meet writes it down in a book. What? That is so crazy. That's so crazy. How magical is that? Oh my god, that's why I love it. Okay, so the first book was Twilight. I was in 4th grade, I had read all the books, and I remember a few of my friends had also read the books, so we'd play Twilight at lunch, and of course, I was Alice Cullen. But eventually more people wanted to play, so we ended up filling up like the entire main cast, but eventually almost all of our classmates wanted to play with us, so I had to make up characters for every single person in my class, and at one point, almost our entire 4th grade class was playing Twilight at lunch. All because I orchestrated it. So I think I owe Twilight some credit for getting me started so young. Okay. I'm gonna be so real, raw, and honest with you guys. The Hunger Games, like, really did it for me. Not only were these books so good, this was my first taste at fandom. I was like, oh, other people like stuff just as much as I do? Crazy. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I have to show you guys this. So Instagram lets you look at all of the posts you've ever liked, all the way back to the very first post you ever liked. It's just Josh Hutcherson. I had never experienced community like this before. Oh, okay. So I liked every single one of these parts of these like text posts. That's like all the characters from the books like texting each other. So that was my first real taste of fan fiction. Something that I will become very well versed in my teenage years. So yeah, that definitely altered like my brain for the rest of my life. And I have been chasing that high ever since. So I have multiple jobs. I work like a 40-hour regular job, and then I also have this action career that I'm really trying to get off the ground. So I really don't have as much time to indulge in this and create things as much as I'd like to, but I do think that the pain will be worth the gain. But just know I'll always be behind on what's trending. And of course, I'm worried about posting things that people don't like or super stale takes that everyone's already heard already. Imposter syndrome is a very good friend of mine, unfortunately. But my acting teacher always says courage over confidence, so we're gonna lead with that and a lot of caffeine. Romantasy. Okay? I said it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And you know what? I like smut. Sue me. Sue me. It's fun, guys. Sometimes you are allowed to have fun, okay? But you know, I think my heart really belongs to lit fic. I love story-driven and like character-driven books, but I think that's why I really got into romantasy, because I can really enjoy the world that the fantasy part brings, as well as the story and character development that the romance part brings. You know, of course, if it's done right. Okay, all right, enough about me. I'm just so excited to be here. I can't believe I'm really doing this, and I'm really proud of myself for setting everything up and hitting record. I have been dreaming about pursuing something like this for years and years, so shout out to my therapist and my boyfriend and my best friend for giving me the courage to do so. I have already had a lot of trials and a lot of errors with these videos, so I'm really looking forward to growing and becoming a better creator and putting out content that I'm really proud of. Y'all can find me here on Instagram, and stick around for the real content because there's some good stuff coming real soon. All right, Bonky, say bye. What? He said you guys should subscribe. I'm just kidding. He can't talk. He's a stuffed animal. All right. All right, everyone. Mahalo and ahui ho.